So I'm gonna lower it. We're gonna keep it at 7 every time.
All
both
right.
both of our voices at 7. We should be good.
All right. Bet.
For those of you that are just tuning in, we're trying to figure out our level adjustments for the podcast. You know what also is weird though is that we kind of have to like warm ourselves up into the mics.
Yeah. We definitely have our best conversations in the middle of the podcast.
Yeah,
I feel like.
so we're kind of like loudest in a way, like in the middle.
And we get into our conversations the most, I guess.
Yeah. Right now we're just kind of like warming up. Yeah.
All right.
bros.
Welcome to the Unmarked podcast. Already episode 4, huh?
Dude, it's going good. But except I mean, come on you guys, like our views are literally going down.
I know. It started so strong.
It started
Where you guys
so
at?
strong. It started like we're for the first episode we're at like 60 listens, 70
No, it was
maybe.
like it was like 70,
Yeah.
high 70s.
And episode 3, which was posted last week, it's only probably just hit 10.
I think we should try to do a better job at
Promoting.
Yeah,
I agree. I've been meaning to put it on my Snapchat and
I have
Instagram.
too, but
you guys don't need that. Just come back and listen.
come listen to our beautiful voices.
We're literally here every single Friday for as long as we can hopefully last this podcast.
Yeah.
And just keep coming back, keep sharing it, and we'll greatly appreciate it. My name is Tlalollin Ramirez, and my co-host over here is
Dong Lee.
Yeah, like I said, we're here every Friday, so come back and listen to our voices.
Do you think that we need to try to, I guess, get on more platforms?
I'm not exactly sure. I think that'll help somewhat, but I feel like Spotify and Apple Podcasts,
They're the two biggest ones.
Yeah, two biggest platforms already to get all our audience. And I feel like our audience is small enough that they don't come from different platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Like our audience right now is like they all go to either Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
Yeah. Why do you have your bags packed?
I'm going to Mexico, bro. I'm leaving tonight. It's a Wednesday night, and I'm gonna be heading out at like 3 a.m. Dude, I'm so excited. It was funny because my mom kept saying, "Hey, you're only gonna go for the weekend for like 4 days, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Mom, you bought me the ticket. I'm gonna go there for like 5 days." She's like, "No way." And I'm like, "Yeah." And then I told her I was like, "I'm gonna go there Thursday, because I'm leaving early in the morning, so I'm basically gonna be there all day Thursday, all day Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday." And I come back on Tuesday. It's technically 6 days.
Dude,
out there in Mexico.
That sounds so fun. Are you going to visit family or what's the situation?
Yeah. It's technically a vacation, but it's not like a resort, like super beautiful, like vacation area. It's more of just like my hometown and like my roots and where I come from. So everyone out there is like grinding and living their own life like we do. So it's just...
Where is that at?
It's called Colima. It's kind of like middle western Mexico.
Okay.
It's by Guadalajara, which is one of the major cities out down there. So if you know Guadalajara, it's like 40 minutes to an hour, I believe, from there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think Colima is one of the smallest cities in Mexico. So when people say like,
is it like in the south of Mexico?
Southwest. It's more like it's more on the west coast. So literally from California, I'm kind of just flying straight down.
Okay.
And then I get there.
Okay.
So it's not too far of a flight. I'm leaving from Tijuana. So I'm driving to TJ, which is about
Tijuana.
Hour, 2 hour drive. Yeah. Yeah, I'm Mexican, bro. I got an accent.
I like it. I'm just repeating you.
And then from TJ, we're gonna fly nationally, which is what the deal is. So normally if I were to fly out from LAX, the tickets would be way more expensive because you're flying internationally technically.
Got it.
So we'd rather just cross the border like on foot, and then from TJ would just go out nationally to Colima.
How long is the flight for that?
Yeah, it's about like 3 to 4 hours, I believe.
Okay,
max.
That's not too bad at all.
Nothing bad at all. I mean,
what were you saying?
No, I was just gonna say you get there and you're in the city, which is nice, and that's it.
And it's 3 hours away from here. From Tijuana, basically.
From Tijuana, yes, but
flight.
Tijuana
Okay.
is like an hour and a half, 2 hours from here.
Yeah, and that's not even that far
No,
considering
no.
it's like a whole nother country with a whole
Yeah,
another
right?
environment. And I've never been to Mexico, so that's something that's always on my bucket list.
Dude, we need to go.
Yeah, I want to go
I'm gonna
really
take you
badly.
for sure.
But I mean, when I think of Mexico and like going there, I think of Cancun
Yeah,
and just like
all the
vacationing
resort, like,
on the
vacation.
cheap
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like just oh my gosh. But then I also think of like when you go to Tijuana, is it still crazy down there over there in the border?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I don't really visit Tijuana all that often. The only reason I would ever be in Tijuana is for the airport.
You went recently though, right?
Yeah, last year, November, I think, December-ish.
And
Yeah,
you did the same thing you're doing.
Same exact
this,
thing.
Go to
And
Tijuana and then
What's crazy is that
Colima, right? Colima.
yeah, Colima is my hometown, so
Okay.
that's where I fly to from Tijuana.
That's like where your parents are from.
That's where my mom's family is from. Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
My dad is actually from Guadalajara, so
Oh,
we're all
okay.
kind of just like in that vicinity. But yeah, my mom is from there. But what I was trying to say is that the how do you say it? The airport was kind of like separated from the border. So if you wanted to fly, like let's say do what we're doing and drive to Tijuana, you would have to actually cross the border on foot.
What?
And it's kind of like not that big of a concept because like yeah, people cross the border every day and it's like no big of a deal. But we would specifically just cross the border to only get to the airport. And I don't know if it was the government or if this major company like thought about this idea, but basically what they did is they created a bridge. It's called CBX. And this bridge connects the US and Tijuana airport itself together. So you wouldn't have to get off foot to go through the border and let's say like travel Tijuana. You would literally just go to the CBX airport on the San Diego side, which is like right before the border, and just cross the bridge that takes you straight into the airport. It's like the craziest concept, but for us, it was like the biggest game changer for us because we do this so often.
I've been to the San Diego airport a couple times, so
Okay.
I do I know this place? I probably don't.
I doubt it, bro. I doubt it. Like
yeah.
we literally crossed the
border
to get to Mexico.
My parents have told me a funny story that so you know how we came from Korea. So the first couple years that they were living in California, they were driving down to San Diego. But we didn't have our citizenship or we didn't have our green card.
Okay.
So if we left the country, we would not be able to come back. And they've told me they're literally 10 minutes away from the border because they're like these
just like
new
walking.
fob Koreans
and
they're driving around San Diego and they went a little too far. And back then there was no
there's no GPS.
Right.
It was like an actual map.
Yeah, and my parents like, dude, we were almost fucked.
Wow.
Like, yeah.
That would have been a crazy outcome.
Yeah. But it's crazy that the border is such a there's so many how do I want to explain this?
It's kind of like a big deal.
Yeah.
It's we live on land, but there's a crazy ass wall division that separates two countries that is the same land.
Is it visibly different on you know how you see those pictures if there's like a border and there's like grass on one side and then it's like all dirt on the other side?
Yeah,
is it when you go to that? Because I've never been there.
To be real with you, no, not really. I mean, no. To be
everything's
real with
the same, right?
No. To be real with you, I do feel a difference.
Oh, really?
Like if you were to like literally look around and see like the buildings and people and like all people are the same, right? So you look on both sides and you're like, yeah, whatever. But for me personally, like it feels different. It feels you can feel the sense of Mexico, and I think that's why I love it so much. Because like you're in a technically the same place. Like San Diego to Tijuana, it's the same land, it's the same area, but you walk into Mexico and it feels different, and I like it. That's why I keep going back.
What is that? What does your jacket say?
What does it say? It says Mexico is a shit.
Mexico is a shit.
It's funny because you asked me because I don't know. I don't read the back.
No, I like that. Visually know the back of that freaking jacket.
Yeah, I have a red bomber jacket that on the back in big bold white letters it says Mexico is a shit.
That's dope, dude. And it's pretty cool that you represent, like you are.
Yeah. I love my country.
Yeah, and you love it.
Bro. Like, yeah.
I mean, I'm Korean, but I haven't been back to Korea since I was born there. I came when I was 2, 3, 4. And I've never been back. Last summer, I had the opportunity to, but during that whole time too, like I was going through my whole training for management and stuff. So I just decided not to go with my family. But when they went, they had the coolest pictures and they did the coolest things there. So I'm not ashamed to be a Korean per se. But I do.
What is
I do
it, like
have
hard to connect to your roots?
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy though is I feel like my parents really didn't want me to have that feeling. I guess what you're having. So one of the craziest things that I believe my parents have done with me and my family is that we went to go live in Mexico for a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When was this? How old were you?
I was like 10, 11 years old, I believe. This was in 6th grade. So I was still in elementary school. I was still learning. Like,
so they took you out of school for a whole year, and then
no, I went to school over there. Like
no, but you were going to school in America.
Yeah,
they pulled you for that whole year to go to school in Mexico.
Yeah,
and then you came back to school.
I think that's why it was sort of kind of like an easy thing, is because it was elementary school. I feel like elementary school doesn't really matter as much.
You can't
like
do that to a teenager. You'll fuck them up.
Like. Yeah. Like, or like, let's say like my sister right now, she's trying to like transfer schools or like do this or that, but they need the paperwork, they need your address, they need like all these like legal documents for you to be able to go to a high school. I feel like elementary school is a little different. Don't quote me on that because I'm not no expert, but I feel like elementary school to be like, oh, you want to come here? Yeah, just enroll. So
yeah, in high school, those kids by the end of high school are practically adults. Like, of course,
exactly.
It'd be way harder.
So yeah, I lived over there for a year. So it feels good to like go back because not only do I have like family there, but I have like close, tight friends that I made.
Oh, do you?
In 6th grade.
Oh, that's dope.
Every single time I go back to, I hit them up. I say, hey, like let's hang out, and we always just catch up. We just kick it, like driving around the city, catching up, drinking beers, and we're just like kicking it.
I just imagine like chickens.
Yeah,
on the road.
Chickens, dogs, like stray dogs everywhere. And it's just like literally like it's just Mexico.
You got to take me there one time. That sounds fun.
You need to come and kick it, dude. It's fun.
It's dirt cheap out there too, right?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And does the currency change depending on where Mexico you are?
It's still changing. You know, when I was a kid, it was known that the currency exchange was 10 pesos for $1. So it was like 10x to 1, right?
Okay.
Right now, $1 can get you, I think, like 22 or 23 pesos. So it's like 20x. Yeah.
Double.
So, which means that the Mexican currency is going down.
Well, you know that the US dollar is also
going down
as well.
Yeah.
It's like how much? 80 something cents now?
Not exactly sure. Is that inflation or is that the value of the dollar?
That's inflation because that is the value of the dollar decreasing.
It is, huh?
We're going to look this up because we can't sound like noobs on our podcast.
Because obviously the value of the dollar goes down, but it is due to inflation, right? So does that mean, because oh my god,
I was about to read this. The action of inflating something or the condition of being inflated. Well, that's an inflation.
Just reading the definition. Oh my god.
A general increase in prices and fall in the purchasing value of money.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that is inflation.
Of course, but like, how does it happen? Do you know?
Well, I know there's an inflation right now because of all the stimulus checks that are going out with our government.
So the more money you print, the less value it becomes.
Right. You can't just make money out of thin air. And well, that's essentially what they're doing.
Yeah. That's what the government's doing. But what I'm trying to figure out is, how does the value of currency relate to one another? So like, why does, even though the US is having their own inflation, their own like problems or whatever, and the value of the dollar is going down within itself, the value of the dollar versus the Mexican peso, those are still
the same, or
no, they're still fluctuating.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So like, how does the value of the US dollar within itself versus the dollar compared to the peso like differentiate? Do you see what I'm saying?
I do.
Like what determines that? It can't be inflation.
It has to be how well the economy is doing.
The economy is doing, right?
And we talked about this the other day, the stock market. The government pumped billions of dollars into the stock market just to keep it alive. Just because if the stock market crashes, then everything else in the world will crash with
that. That is inflation, though, isn't it? Does that mean our economy is doing good or bad?
Dude, I have no idea, but I would
don't listen to what we're saying. We're just
in my opinion, I would think that the economy is doing bad. We just hit a pandemic.
Yeah, of course.
There's all these protests going on. There's all these natural disasters. It's a year of death and disaster, despair.
Yeah, it's all.
So
bueno.
I mean, even with all that going on, people are going to live day to day.
Yeah.
And the economy is still going to function, but compared to where we were before this, per se, we were at a way better position.
Yeah, I agree. I see what you're saying.
So in that case, like we're not doing well. This money is coming out of a relief fund.
So, like, what my next like thought process is do you think the peso value is going to catch up to the dollar, like going back to possibly 10 pesos a dollar, because our economy is going down technically?
Oh,
you see what I'm saying? Like, we're sort of kind of establishing that our economy is going down, but does that mean that it's going to match the peso at one day?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know how in the news, I've read like in many places and watched many YouTube videos, but they say like just Mexico's government is so corrupt. Do you think because of all the corruption and the major gang influences of narcotics and all that stuff, like, do you think that affects the economy? And that is a good reason why
the difference is so high?
Yeah. I mean, just everything is cheaper out there. The US dollar means more than a peso.
Yeah.
And why is that? Because the peso's not, I don't know.
As valid.
Essentially, right? Because you need more pesos to
or compensate for a dollar.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I really wish I understood economics. You know, it like really intrigues me, like all this stuff. Understanding like just the value, money. I think money interests me.
Money is very interesting.
So, because we were talking about this earlier, is how currency is going to be digital now.
Yeah.
Like, I was listening to an advertisement about Cash App, and they're allowing you to purchase Bitcoin from there now.
Really?
Which is like a new feature, I guess. And the reason they're doing that is because technically, like, crypto is going to be a way to be able to exchange currencies without having the third-party banking system, which is insane because, like, that means that all their money is going to be going into cryptocurrency, right? At some point, hopefully, maybe.
Yeah.
And then we wouldn't have to worry about, like, having our bank app or Zelle or like a third party. We'll just be able to do it through Bitcoin.
One share of Bitcoin is pretty expensive right now, right?
Dude,
is that the right number right there?
Let me see.
10,000?
Yeah, that's
100%. One freaking share?
No, it's not a share. That's one Bitcoin. Like, one Bitcoin costs that much. You know.
So you have
that
only
a limited amount of Bitcoins, right, in the world. That's a fact.
Okay, but how is that possible? Explain that to me, because
I really wish I understood what Bitcoin is, but I don't.
Because if it's something online and it's something that can just be made out of thin air,
but it's not made out of thin air. They have like very high tech computational computers that like dig up Bitcoin because it's so hard to find and because there's a limited amount.
What?
That's why the value keeps going up. So until all the Bitcoin is found out there, the certain amount, then I believe, I'm not exactly sure, I'm not an economist or anything, that's when the level of Bitcoin price is going to stay stable. You see what I'm saying?
And so Bitcoin should definitely be stable at a certain point in the future. You know about this more than I do. You know, yeah.
But I mean, I know this more than you do, but I know absolutely nothing. You know, like I really wish I knew more, but I just don't. But yes, all I know for certain is that there's a limited amount of Bitcoin and that it's getting harder and harder to find on a daily basis.
So that's what I don't understand is like, how can you find a Bitcoin?
It's
not an actual fucking coin.
No, it's not. It's not. I mean, I don't know. It's strings and code on online or something. Like
what?
Literally, that's what it is. That's what computers.
So it's a bunch of strings and code.
Yeah.
And then when you pull it up on your phone, it looks like a coin.
It's the wildest. I don't think so. I don't know.
I've seen these Bitcoin ATMs and I'm like, what the hell?
Bitcoin ATMs, that's wild. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's just so like, let's say for example you want to buy a Bitcoin, you don't buy a full Bitcoin. You buy a fraction.
A fraction of $10,000 right there for one Bitcoin is a lot of money.
Yep. And what the craziest thing is, like, just going back into stories or whatever, back in the day, Bitcoin used to only cost $12.
No, I know. My buddies have invested in it. It makes me.
Oh my God.
The guy who got me into poker. He bought he bought a bunch. You should meet him. I think you guys would pop off well together.
Yeah, but fun.
He had a bunch of Bitcoin and then he got in some financial situations and I remember him just selling it. Yeah.
Wow.
For a lot of money.
Yeah, big profits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he might still have some, but
I believe it.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Man, I wish I invested in that when it was. I remember when it was popping off.
You know what the thing that I'm saying right now about like, oh, I wish I would have gotten into that, which is kind of wild because like you need time to pass in order for you to say that, right? Like you can't say that in the present. So like, let's say for example, I learned something new about the stock market or about Bitcoin or whatever it is, right? I won't be able to say, dang, I wish I would have bought this because time has to pass. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy that I'm able to say this because I feel like I've been such short amount of time period, like learning about stocks and currencies and stuff. But Tesla, like, bro, like it popped off so quickly, dude. Like, I remember when Tesla was like under $200.
Really?
Yes, dude.
Oh my god! Like you remember seeing it on Robinhood?
I remember going up and down. I'm like, oh, I don't think it's gonna go up. I don't think it's gonna go up. So, and like back in the day when that was first like ever investing, so $200 to me was like a lot. That was like a big part of my portfolio. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to like put all my money into just one stock of Tesla. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just hold off on it and maybe buy it in the future.
And then
$1,500, bro.
Right now?
Yeah. Well, not right now.
What is it right now?
You know? It did a stock split. So do you know what a stock split is?
I know, but explain it.
So basically, companies want to split up the amount of stocks or shares that there are available to lower the price of the stock technically. So let's say, for example, one share of Tesla cost $1,500 and they want to do, let's say 5-to-1 5-to-1 split stock. So one stock would now be split into 5 equal amounts of price to add up to what the one stock used to be.
So everyone would buy 20%.
So like, let's say you own one stock at 1,500. The stock split happens. Now you own 5 shares, all worth $300 each.
Right.
So you still own $1,500 of Tesla. It's just now 5 stocks instead of 1. So the price of the company goes down to $300. So you're able to buy more, but the value is technically still the same.
Interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, right now the price is technically, I think it's about 300 or 500 maybe now, but yeah, it was at 1,500 per share. Per share because the stock split already happened.
Okay.
So a few weeks ago it was at 1,500.
And you still get dividends for all those too, or?
Each company has their own dividend rules and stuff. I don't think Tesla pays out dividends. I know Apple does for sure, but yeah, you just got to do your research on that.
Interesting.
But like, dude, had I bought Tesla when it was $200, I would have been $1,200 richer with just one investment.
Just one simple
buy.
Click of a button.
Like what costs $200 that you can flip for $1,500 in like a year? Hardly anything.
Let's think real quick.
No, like actually, like what costs $200? Like This
well, anything you buy is automatically used after, always decreases in value.
Yeah, it's depreciating, right?
Yeah.
So like, what do you buy that can flip for over
nothing? And stocks, fucking stocks.
Profit. That's wild.
Fun fact about Tesla: they have their series cars. They have the S series,
the E series,
the X series, the Y series. It's
do they have the E?
I think so.
Or no. It's not the E,
or
because
it's like
because Elon Musk wanted the E, but like his like team said
he
no.
doesn't.
So they made a 3 instead. It's a Model 3.
Okay, I think that 3 was supposed to be the E, but it's supposed to spell out
sexy.
All right, so you already knew this. So that's for all you listeners out there. If you didn't know,
Tesla's the series of the Tesla is supposed to spell sexy.
That's actually a really smart company, though.
Dude, I love Tesla. I love Tesla.
Commercializing spaceflight is just a genius move now.
You think so?
I think so.
My parents, for some reason, don't really agree with the whole traveling outside the world concept. And it's so weird to have like, not necessarily arguments with them, but like conversations, because I'm all for it.
Yeah,
I'm like, shoot, like let's go travel.
And
like,
their opinion is their like,
of
their opinion, of course. Like
definitely,
yeah.
But like that they say,
not in a rude way, not
no. Of course, their argument, and I agree with it, of course, because it's a valid argument. They say that there are too many problems down on Earth that they need more focus on and need to be taken care of before worrying about going to a different planet. You see what I'm saying? Like world hunger or pollution or global warming, like all these things that we need to fix down here on Earth with our government and all the money that Elon Musk is getting and the whole company is like, invest in ourselves and in the world and trying to help and fix that rather than trying to focus on going to a different planet, which makes sense. I mean, I 100% agree.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Right? Yeah.
But at the same time, in the history of mankind, we're always trying to discover something new.
Most definitely.
And that's just how history works, you know?
That's kind of just how we work.
Yeah.
As
like, human beings.
Us as our psychology is like, dude, we'll look at something
we're good.
else.
Yeah, we're gonna
try to look
for
something new.
We realized that the Earth wasn't flat. You know, we realized that we could get to the moon.
Yeah, we realized
if you believe
Earth wasn't the center of the universe. Isn't that crazy that people used to believe that?
Yeah. So I think as human beings, it's always our second nature to
question everything,
and
try to push our
discover
limits. Yeah,
but they are 100% right.
Yeah,
and that was the same issue with the whole NBA starting their bubble in Florida.
Okay,
literally all of Florida, or especially Orlando, was a shit show with COVID, and they have millions of dollars in the middle of Florida, and they're hosting the greatest basketball tournament of the world. You know what I mean?
Because Florida wasn't taking the right precautions for COVID?
No. Like they were, the whole city around them was going to shit, and they're investing all this money to make sure that the players stay safe.
The players stay safe, and
so everyone had an issue with, hey, like why are you spending the money
prioritizing them over the
just like, why are you going to prioritize going to space when you can fix the
You're right.
So there's always going to be those two sides, and your parents are definitely right.
Yeah, of course.
I agree. That's precious money that could be spent on
100%. Most definitely. So the other day, I went to go hang out with some homies, right? And they have a podcast of their own, and they wanted me to be a guest on their podcast. So we made an episode, and one of the first questions that they asked me, which I thought was just kind of like straight out of left field or whatever, but I think it's a really cool concept to dig into, is if one of your past relationship girls or whatever comes back and tells you, hey, I had a child and it's yours, what would you do? Or how would you react?
Whoa, that is out of left field.
Yeah. I mean, I was just kind of thinking about it because I literally sat down on their podcast and that was the first question they asked me, and I'm like,
dude,
I was like,
you gave me a heads up right now, and I was still blown away.
So I sat down there and I'm like, what are we talking about? But yeah, what would you do?
I think just how I was born and raised in this Christian, Christian family.
Okay.
If it's my kid, it's my kid. I'm taking care of it. I'm owning up. That was your question, right? If it was my kid,
no, of course, yeah.
Like my blood,
your blood, yeah, it was
out of my nuts.
Yeah, out of your semen, dude. You got it all up in there.
I'm taking care of the kid. Rick, what did you say?
I said the same thing. And what do you think the different answer is, or the because I said I would drop everything in life, and I would like I told him that my perspective in life would completely change.
It would have to.
Yeah, like
I don't have a kid, but if I do, it would have to change.
Yeah, it would have to. Yeah, I guess. Like, I just told them that I would see life through the eyes of them instead of through the eyes of me.
Yeah.
So everything that I would do from there on out, after I find out about my kid, would be everything for them.
Yeah.
You know?
That's same here.
That's so, but like, that's it. Is that a crazy concept? Is that a crazy question?
If an ex-girlfriend... Well, for the first fucking question of a podcast, yeah, that's a crazy question. But the concept, I bet, is...
Shout out to Sean and Yurik. Shout out to Sean and Yurik. when their podcast comes out, we're definitely going to be plugging it. But it's not out yet. It will be soon. So make sure you go listen to Blank Canvas. And yeah, I'm featured in there. But yeah, it was one of their first questions they asked me.
Yeah, that's a wild question. But that situation is not an foreign situation.
Yeah,
I bet that's happened to lots of people. I'm pretty sure even people we know, Like,
so like what would be the other?
Is the kid born already?
Yeah. Like what if the
kid's like full grown,
6-7 years old already?
I mean, fuck yeah. Like,
what would you do? Would you be mad at your ex-girlfriend or ex-girl or whatever?
Yeah, fuck yeah. That's my kid.
Yeah.
How could you not tell me?
Yeah.
Or at least give me the option to have made that decision with you back in the day to
choose if you
maybe want to keep it or not, or want to be part of your kid's life or not. That would be on the ex.
Do you have a choice of whether the girl has the kid or not? It's a little controversial, I know, but let's get into it. You don't have a choice.
I don't have a choice.
But technically, you guys can discuss it.
It's something to discuss, but if I got a girl pregnant and she was keeping the kid, that's her body, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's my opinion. That's her body. And we made that decision when we started to have sex.
Yeah.
So, what about you? Just bouncing these questions right back at you because I don't know what you'd say.
I don't know. Dude, I have no choice. I would definitely talk to her about it and see.
So if the girl said I'm keeping it, you would say like, but
I'd say yeah, I'm down.
You said yeah?
Yeah, most definitely. Because like, I mean, I'm not gonna have a kid anytime soon. I'm not planning on having a kid anytime soon. So, the concept is kind of just like, whoa. But I guess if it did, I'd be like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking do whatever it takes.
You gotta man the fuck up.
Man up, dude. And
that's it. Like, take care of your kid.
Yeah.
See what this question has started? Now we're going all deep into this shit. Like,
we're supposed to be going deep, bro.
Yeah, but this is like on another level deep.
Yeah, you're right. But it's whatever. We talk about.
So speaking of currency,
what about your babies?
We're not talking about that bullshit.
What about your babies?
What about what?
I said, speaking about currency, what about your babies? Like the conversation just like jumps from left to right.
It costs $1 million to raise a kid from 0.
I think we should look that
to
up.
18.
We're talking about that the other. Oh, I was actually gonna ask you, because we were talking about this. But are you gonna use, what is it? How are you gonna discipline your kids? Are you gonna use physical discipline? Is that how you say it? Are you gonna whack your kids?
I'm gonna beat my kids.
Are you gonna beat your kids?
I'm gonna beat my kids.
Full on like black eye.
I'm gonna no.
and bloody heads and stuff.
No, it's
nah.
Yank down their little tiny little touche. Bah, bah, bah. Just
whack
give them a couple sabs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta discipline your kids. That's 100% a true.
And you believe in
discipline.
You believe in what is that physical? Is that called physical discipline?
It's called physical discipline.
Like spanking your kids or whatever.
No, I do believe in that.
Yeah, I believe in it too. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, my dad beat the shit out of me, and my mom.
I wouldn't say,
dude, I was more scared of my mom.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. My parents did such a freaking great job on like teaching us like how to fear them. Because like at one point, it wasn't even what my mom did. It was kind of like just the look that she gave you.
Your parents are also teachers.
Yeah, they are.
So they're
teachers.
around kids a lot, and they know how to get into your guys' fucking minds.
100%. Yeah. So like my mom would just like she wouldn't have to say anything, do anything, look at me in any way. Like she can give off vibes that would make me want to fear her. Like all of a sudden I'd be like, oh shit, like I did something wrong.
I know what you're talking about. Like you walk in the house and you're like, oh fuck.
Like you can sense it. You're like,
I'm getting yelled at.
But yeah, I've definitely gotten spanks before. We called it the belt. Take the belt out and all that good stuff.
Dude, my mom had, the clothes hangers?
The wire ones?
The wired ones?
The metal ones? No way.
She freaking
bent that stuff.
She would straighten that shit out. Turn around.
Wow.
And then there's like these back scratchers that a lot of Korean families have.
Like the wooden ones.
The wooden ones.
Yeah,
dude. My mom would have me just like hold my hands out.
Hold your hand out for it, and she'd whack your hand.
She'd whack my hands like.
What was that for? Like, what would
times.
you do? What would you do?
I was a bad kid, dude.
Why? Yeah, you're a bad kid now. Still. Let's be real.
I'm not. I'm responsible. I have a good job. I would say. I know. I'm motivated in life. I'm responsible. So I just like having fun.
Nah, you're a bad kid.
All right, yeah, I'm a bad kid.
So you would just do something bad, and then your mom would be like, "All right, here."
Yeah, like I've signed my report cards.
Oh, really?
Ditch school.
Dang, you ditched school? How young
Saturday
were you when you ditched school?
Junior high is when I ditched.
Dang, you got balls. I would.
Yeah.
Nah, I would never.
Eighth grade.
I ditched school.
Grade.
The first time I ditched school was probably like junior year in high school.
Yeah,
I was like old.
Yeah, I think I ditched high school classes
the most.
Like my senior year, I was barely going to school. I was just going to school for like swim practice and to hang out with my friends and stuff. And,
That's funny. Were you like the best swimmer at your school?
No, dude. There was way better swimmers. There was
Don't say names. I don't know names. But
no, I wasn't gonna say his name, but there was a guy. He was one of the teacher's son.
Oh,
And his body figure, like he just was built for swimming.
Damn.
And
must be nice.
Like when we were seniors and we were in varsity, like he was the freshman on varsity. And he was bigger than all of us. And like all of my closest homies basically to this day are from that swim team, in high school. So it means like I still talk to him. And
I mean, same with me in drumline. Like I still got my jackasses. Shout out to you guys. You know who you are. And
is that what you guys call yourselves?
Yeah,
the jackasses.
Because our instructor actually gave us that nickname.
I like that.
Yeah. So one time we were at a competition, and we had some like downtime before we started warming up. So we were walking around. You can either go inside and watch groups live. You can go outside and watch groups warm up. So it's just a fun environment or whatever, right? Well, this one guy who was part of the jackasses at the time decided to go out to the field because it was like at a school, at a college, and the college had like a football or a soccer field like right next to it. Okay. So this guy and a bunch of groups from the drumline decided to go out to the soccer field and play ultimate frisbee, like before, like for our downtime, right? Which is kind of like no big deal until you fuck up your foot and you sprain it right before the performance.
Oh fuck!
So he oh my god, sprained it, right? And he's over there with all the booster parents icing it up, trying to get it. He couldn't walk on it. He couldn't do anything, and we had to perform that day. And the crazy thing about drumline is that like it puts you in a crazy mental state. So he manned up and said, "Hey, I'm gonna perform," and he did it. Shouts out to him. But
it was a full-on sprain, or
I think he went to the doctors after the competition and they said it was like a full-on sprain. I think he had to sit out rehearsal for like a couple of weeks, which is a really big deal, especially for like our like level of perfection and how we try to like articulate everything.
You have to be there every
single day, right?
So in sync, right?
Like, bro, sitting out for 2 weeks of rehearsal was like wild.
I can't imagine.
After the performance, well, basically our instructor said, bro, you got no choice but to perform today. He's like, if you're not performing today, don't ever come back to the activity, right? So this was like while he was sitting down, icing it and like trying to get better. So that's kind of like was the mental like fire into him to say I gotta perform.
And
right?
Did he do fine?
And he performed and everything, and yeah, he did fine. He did all right, but I can't imagine like the pain and level that he went through, right? So, the performance was over. We regroup and everything. We talked about how the performance went, et cetera, how we usually go. And then he's like, the instructor was talking and he was saying how the next time we go to another competition, like you guys better not be jackasses like you guys were today and be messing around before performance.
You guys all looked at each other.
Us being jackasses, we're like, dude, that's a great name. We're gonna fucking run with it. Yeah. So ever since then, we're like, you know what? That's right. We are the jackasses,
nice. I like it.
And we do fucked up shit, even though we know we're doing wrong. So
it's kind of the name's kind of taken by another group of guys that does a lot of stupid shit, but you guys could have.
Yeah, but I mean, we're the 2.0 version. Yeah. But yeah, so that's our friend group, and we're like the seniors, or like the already like we're the cool kids and stuff. So we took the name and ran with it.
I had something cheesy too.
What were you guys?
The seniors, all the boys, like it was like the guys that we used to just all party together all the time. Yeah. We had a giant group chat, and this is when like iPhone was like first coming out with their group messaging and stuff. So we just got this brand new group chat together, and we called it the Blood Brothers, and we all got jackets.
You're lying,
dude. It was like 12 guys, and now that I look back on it, I mean, like I don't regret anything that I did, but I was like, damn, that's cheesy. I had a giant red hand right here, like made of blood, and it had a Bible verse, and it had like our nicknames and our number.
You guys, that's freaking good. That's hilarious.
But definitely during high school, most of the craziest parties were with those guys. So
that's awesome, dude.
Shout out to you guys.
Yeah, dude. High school brings like the craziest memories.
It does. I would definitely have to say that I have been out of high school for a long time now. Damn, I just fucked this podcast. That just made me... No, okay.
So now you know how old Dong is. He's been out of high school for a while.
I would definitely say I've had way more fun after high school in my life. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know, like, I was so afraid of being the guy to peak in high school, And after high school, I realized that I had a lot of fun and I did a lot of things that I wanted to do. And for a while, it was kind of, shit, like, what do I do now? I don't really want to go to school. And, like, I was just, like, working in and out. And then there got to a point where, and I think it was at the same time when I dropped out of school. I was just really, I felt like my life hadn't peaked and there was way more to come.
Yeah, most definitely. So, that's cool. Well,
yeah, and on that note, I think we're gonna end the podcast today.
Yeah, dude, I think we can end it there. I mean, it was fun.
Yeah,
it was a good time.
Go enjoy your trip in Mexico.
Appreciate it, bro. The next episode actually is gonna be me back from Mexico.
So we'll talk about.
There's gonna be a lot of stories about how it went over there, but yeah.
I'll try to do something fun while you're gone, so I can have a story to share myself.
So I went to work. And,
that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about.
But yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Please subscribe. Please come back and listen to future episodes and share our podcast to anyone and everyone. We're open to all the audience in the whole world. So we really appreciate it, guys. We really appreciate you guys for sticking around and listening. And yeah, we'll see you guys for the next one.
Yep. Peace out.